In the top stories, police search for suspect in fatal accident. Labour Department issues warning about fraudulent activities online, and government officials meet with staff of Parks and Beaches Unit. We'll be right back with the details after this.
Optical, we've got the perfect combination of style and value just for you. Shop from our wide range of stylish frames, and for a limited time, buy one and get a second pair at 80% off. We've got frames as low as $99. Ask about our affordable credit plans from 3 to 24 months. Make your appointment today at quartzoptical.com. Conditions apply. See in store for details. Quartz Optical, value you can see.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Major Newscast. I'm Jason Davis. The police are looking for a young man in connection with a fatal accident in St. Peter's on the weekend. A release was issued on Sunday indicating that the police are looking for a 27-year-old Marlon Andres Novas of the Dominican Republic. His last known address was Fort Thomas Road. According to the release, at about 9:10 p.m. on Friday near the Love at First Bite bar in St. Peter's, a fatal traffic accident occurred. It was alleged that the suspect, Marlon Andres Novas of the Dominican Republic, who drove motor vehicle PB2456 at the time, collided with pedestrian Sudat Pichaya, a Guyanese national, who died. The suspect then fled the scene of the accident, the police say. The police say it is believed that the suspect left St. Kitts on a go-fast boat to St. Martin. Investigations into the matter continue. The Office of the Labour Commissioner has issued a warning to the public about fraudulent activities from an email address that appears to be connected to the government of St. Kitts and Nevis. In a statement issued on the weekend, the Labour Commissioner said, quote, "It has come to the attention of the St. Kitts and Nevis Department of Labour that an email account not attached to the department or the government information system is being used to advance malicious and illegal activities of the user. The Department of Labour strongly condemns such fraudulent activities, and our communication team has alerted the service provider as well as the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force to identify and bring the perpetrators to justice." End quote. The statement also advised the private sector that the St. Kitts Nevis Department of Labour's official email address is skndol@gov.kn. Its Facebook page is St. Kitts and Nevis Department of Labour, and its Twitter handle is @DOL869. On Friday, the employees of the Parks and Beaches Unit in the Ministry of Environment were reminded of the important role they play in maintaining the beauty and attractiveness of the country for visitors, citizens and residents. This reminder was given by Prime Minister the Honourable Dr. Terence Drew and Minister of Environment the Honourable Dr. Joel Clark during a meeting with the staff of the Parks and Beaches Unit. In emphasizing the staff's significant role to the country, Minister Clark said, quote, "You are performing a very critical role, and if you don't do what you do, we won't have a beautiful St. Kitts, we won't have a clean St. Kitts, and we won't have a healthy St. Kitts." End quote. Prime Minister Drew supported Minister Clark's remarks by adding that much of the success of the country's growing tourism sector begins with them. He said, quote, "Our country is still fundamentally a country that depends on tourism, so you understand how important you are when it comes to the economic development of the country." He said, "You keep this country beautiful and you keep it looking well. But apart from just the tourism, I think people in St. Kitts and Nevis want to live on a clean and beautiful island, and I think we can all agree on that. And so I would say that your function is quite important and vital to the development of St. Kitts and Nevis, end quote. Part of the objective of Friday's meeting was also to introduce the staff of the Parks and Beaches Unit to the new permanent secretary within the Ministry of Environment, Sharon Rattan. Following the introductory remarks, the government officials then listened to the views and concerns expressed by the employees. Prime Minister Drew promised that his administration will work towards resolving as many of the concerns as it possibly can. After the break, we'll take a look at some of the stories from the past week. Stay tuned.
What's your reason?
They have a nice selection of products that we also enjoy, and our children especially love the chips, so that's why we come here.
What's your reason?
I find the stuff here is more cheaper and it's clean.
There's always a great reason to shop at Hortsport's Value Mart IGA.
Visitor here, and I love the supermarket.
Hortsport's Value Mart IGA.
It's more convenient for me just because I live there at Canary. Shop smart, value mart.
With my National Bank Platinum card, I have easy access to luxury hotels.
With my National Bank Platinum card, I have Visa special privileges.
With my National Bank Platinum card, I have auto rental insurance.
National Bank Platinum Credit Card.
The platinum lifestyle you deserve.
National Bank, always here.
This past week, various dignitaries offered words of condolences following the news of the death of Queen Elizabeth II. Let's take a look back at some of those statements. His Excellency the Governor-General, Sir S.W. Tapley Seaton, GCMG CVO QCJP LLD, has been officially advised of the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. The Governor-General has expressed great sadness at her passing. His Excellency the Governor-General has also advised the Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Terence Drew, MP, of the death of the Sovereign and Head of the Commonwealth. Acting in accordance with established protocol, all flags in the Federation will fly at half-mast until the day after the funeral. Her son, the heir to the throne, His Royal Highness Prince Charles, has been proclaimed as King. Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, has made an address on the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. In it, he offered condolences to the family.
It is with profound sadness that we, the government and people of St. Kitts and Nevis, mourn the passing and celebrate the life, service and legacy of Queen Elizabeth II. We offer prayers for her family and loved ones, and for all those who knew and loved her across the realms, the Commonwealth and throughout the world. Her reign, marked by resilience, dignity, duty, quiet faith and piety, has been and will continue to be an example for all of us. May her soul rest in eternal peace as reflection on her service continues.
National hero and former Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Sir Kennedy Simmons, joined the rest of the world in paying tribute to Queen Elizabeth, who died on Thursday. He issued a statement recalling moments shared with the British monarch and offers his sympathies to her family and the people of the United Kingdom. The former Prime Minister was quoted as saying, "It was with profound sadness that I learned of the death of Queen Elizabeth II. Hers was a life of unwavering devotion to duty, not only to the United Kingdom, but equally so to Commonwealth of Nations, including my own, St. Kitts and Nevis. I am saddened by her passing, which has closed the curtains on a transformative era that we may never again experience. My wife, Lady Simmons, joins me in extending heartfelt sympathies to Her Majesty's family and the people of the United Kingdom. Our prayers remain with you during this time of sorrow." Her Majesty's reign was not only one of longevity, but also a hallmark of legendary public service, honor, distinction, and humility. Her Majesty's last visit to St. Kitts and Nevis was in 1985, and as Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis then, I was impressed by her knowledge and the keen interest she showed in the development of my Caribbean nation. I shall always remember our one-on-one conversations at the heads of Commonwealth meetings. She reflected a deep and abiding devotion to the welfare of the people of the Commonwealth, especially the youth. I extend best wishes to the new monarch, King Charles III, as he embarks on a new journey as head of state.
Laws governing child protection and juvenile justice in St. Kitts and Nevis were reviewed at a two-day workshop organized by the Ministry of Social Development and Gender Affairs. More in this report. The review, commissioned by Deputy Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Jeffrey Hanley, began on Tuesday at the Early Childhood Development Conference Room. It marks the first legislative action for the ministry under his leadership. It brings together various stakeholders across child protection and juvenile justice systems, including parents and juveniles. Permanent Secretary Janelle Lewis Tafari said that the review is particularly important as it will help to establish clearly defined roles for the Ministry of Social Development and Gender Affairs and the Probation and Child Welfare Board.
Today, we meet as agency representatives of child protection and juvenile justice to discuss and deliberate on one of the most important tenets of our child protection system, the Probation and Child Welfare Board. This board is a creature of legislation. It was established as far back as 1994. In accordance with its name, the board is intended to serve and provide oversight to the care and protection of our children and to give guidance to our Department of Probation and Child Protection Services.
The board was established in 1994. It has oversight for the care and protection of children and gives guidance to the relevant government departments. This review workshop is being facilitated by Rohan Walters, Crown Counsel and legal advisor to the Probation and Child Welfare Board. Revisions will focus on the functions of the Probation and Child Welfare Board Act and complementary legislation. Junior Minister of Social Development and Gender Affairs, the Honorable Iseline Phillip, encouraged the participants to be candid during the deliberations and assured them of the government's commitment to this exercise.
We're going to make sure that this social development and this act, this Child Welfare Board Act, and all of the legislation that's connected to that is prioritized because we're doing this in the interest of our children.
Deputy Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Jeffrey Hanley also attended the opening ceremony. After 2 years of shift systems and virtual learning, students across the Federation returned to classes at regular hours on the first day of school on Wednesday, and some even got a special surprise. Here's more. It was announced that schools are going back to the accustomed 8:25 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. schedule, except on Thursdays when students are dismissed at 2:15 p.m. The schedule was changed to a shift system and hybrid classes during the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic to facilitate the social distancing protocol that was mandated at the time. Our camera team caught teachers at Keon High School meeting their students at the gate with encouraging words written on posters as they made their way to classes. The welcoming was capped off with a special visit by Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, the elected parliamentary representative for the area. It was the first school Dr. Drew visited since assuming the post of Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis. In his brief remarks, the Prime Minister informed the students of a number of decisions taken by his administration that will enhance the delivery of education across St. Kitts and Nevis.
I want you to know that CFBC is now absolutely free for all of you. You don't have to pay for CFBC. Let me see all of you who want to participate again in the laptop program. We will once again reintroduce the laptop program and make sure that all of you have access to a device if you don't have. We will also make sure that those who don't have internet at home that we will help you to get internet at home, because all of you must be connected to the internet.
Prime Minister Drew also noted that his administration's goal is to ensure that there are no barriers to the education of the nation's youth.
We will convert our schools into smart schools. We will include ICT and the technology so that we can create students who can compete with anyone from anywhere in the world. And that is our commitment to you, the students of St. Kitts and Nevis and the students of the Keon High.
Dr. Drew then spoke about upgrades planned for the Keon High School.
Here at the Keon High School is that your hall is too small and you should not be standing in the sun. And I want to make the commitment that we will extend your hall so that when persons like me come to speak, you can be in a hall, sheltered, and be able to be covered. That is my commitment to the Keon High School.
Joining Prime Minister Drew during his visit to Keon High were Cabinet Secretary Dr. Marcus Natta and Chief Education Officer Francil Morris. After the break, debate over students' hairstyles in St. Lucia heating up, and monsoons in Thailand lead to snakes invading homes.